Have you guys ever experienced your dog flinch or duck down when you raise your hand to go pet him? Or a dog that maybe perhaps is a little nervous about you touching their hindquarters? Or maybe even a dog that's nervous about you picking up a newspaper or using a broom? Well, your dog may have been abused or may be confused. So today we're going to address how to desensitize a dog from these kind of motions. I'm Dave Kurlander, animal behavior specialist and researcher and host of the Pack Animal Podcast. And we're going to talk about the difference between abused and confused. You know, dogs derive a lot of their safety from their pack. And when you adopt a dog from a shelter, well, they really haven't experienced what a pack environment is like. So it does take time for the dog to start developing trust over you. So a lot of times these dogs are labeled abused when in reality they're just confused. And that can just take some time. A dog that's been abused, that's a little bit more of a more unnatural trauma that has been introduced to them due to neglect or physical abuse. And those dogs usually display a little bit more of a severe reaction when you do raise your hand to them. So instead of just flinching back, those dogs might urinate, get aggressive, run away, cry, even though you haven't touched them. I know it's a really sad thing to even think about, but there are some pretty cruel people out there. So if you have a dog that is experiencing abuse or confused, this one tip I'm going to give you now can really help bring them out of their shell and develop trust between you and them. The first thing you want to do is you want to just move very deliberately. So for instance, we'll use an example here of my hand for a hand-shy dog. What I would do is I would help to build a positive experience from the outcome of the motion. So essentially I would take a really high priority food item like a piece of chicken or bacon, and remember, this isn't food reward, this is just positive association. I would take that food and just gently go down towards the dog's face and just give him the, a permission to eat it, like an okay, you can have the food, good puppy. And then slowly do that and keep moving your hand as you go a little bit faster. And just keep doing it. Good boy, good boy, good boy. We'll use a boy dog for a reference here. Good boy, good boy, good boy. All the way up to it's like, good boy, what a good boy. And then just yell, so that this way you could start introducing a little bit louder sounds. You could introduce the motion, but at the very end, as your food comes right towards their face, and the hand comes right towards their face with an open palm, they'll start to change their expectations of the outcome. And they'll start lunging towards the food and getting really happy. Now again, if your dog is or has experienced abuse in the past, then you might want to consider moving very, 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 very slowly on this. We don't want to increase the trauma, and abuse can sometimes shut the mind down and the only thing running through their mind is a reoccurrence of the abusive behavior. So you might want to try to get them out of that mentality first. Go for a nice long walk, play with a ball, and then maybe in between there, just quickly pull a treat out of your pocket and quickly bring it down to his face and just move according to the dog. So if the dog flinches, move a little slower until the dog starts gaining trust. And then you can slowly build up your momentum and your body language, and you can even kind of step back and go, good boy, and just give that treat right to them. My dog, Riley, when I first adopted him back in the day, he was pretty severely abused, and clearly you could see it on his body. So he was very hand shy, and whenever I would go to pet him on his head, he would duck down and even pee sometimes when I first got him. So I worked on this desensitizing with him, and it took about 6 months. But it got to the point to where I could just tell him, you want a treat? And pick my hand up, and all of a sudden he would just lunge into me out of happiness. So he did let it go eventually when he found out that not all people are like the one who abused them. He lived a really beautiful, happy 11 years until he died of liver cancer, which unfortunately we had no control over, and he is severely missed. It definitely is an amazing thing to accomplish this, to overcome fear. And again, if it's just basically confusion and setting the pack, this is a great way of developing trust and confidence between you and your dog's relationship. My mission is to give you the necessary tools to provide your dog with a happy and healthy and fulfilled life. So if you like what you hear, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay informed on future episodes like this.